This story is real. So stay with me until the end to see what happens in this world. My name is Riley. I am 16 years old. 2 years ago, my father died. My father was a kind and gentle man. He loved our family very much. He worked hard every day to make sure we had food, a home, and love. Before he died, life was full of happiness. My brother Jack and I were close. We played outside after school. We talked about our dreams and plans. We helped each other with school and chores. We laughed a lot. But after my father passed away, everything changed. Jack was sad and angry. He stopped smiling like before. He began to watch me all the time. He said it was because he wanted to protect me, but it felt like he was trying to control me. He told me I could not go out with friends. He checked my phone every day. He decided what clothes I could wear. I felt like I was living in a cage. I wanted to be free, but I did not know how. My mother worked very hard. She was tired all the time. She went to work early in the morning and came home late at night. She cooked food, cleaned the house, and tried to keep us together. But she did not stop Jack from being so strict. Sometimes I think she was scared of him too. I wanted my mother to help me, but she was quiet. She said Jack only wanted to keep me safe, but I did not feel safe. I felt trapped. Every morning, Jack woke me up very early. He watched me like a guard. He checked my phone and my clothes. He told me who I could talk to and who I could not. I tried to explain that I was old enough to make my own decisions, but he did not listen. He shouted and said I was too young to understand. Sometimes he was very angry and scared me. I wanted to run away, but I had nowhere to go. School was my only place to be free. But Jack followed me there too. He drove me to school every day and waited for me at the gate. I felt like I could not breathe. I could not even talk to my friends freely. I missed my best friend Sarah. She used to call me every day. We used to laugh and share secrets. But after Jack became so strict, I could not answer her calls. I wanted to go to the park with her, but Jack said no. At night, I would look at the stars and dream. I dreamed of walking alone in the street, feeling the wind on my face, and choosing my own path. But every time I tried to think about it, Jack's words stopped me. I felt small and lonely. Sometimes, I read books about girls who had hard lives but found happiness and freedom. I told myself that one day, I would be free too. But the days were long and the nights were cold. I was very tired. One day, I found an old photo of my father. He was smiling and holding me as a baby. I cried for a long time. I missed him so much. He was the only one who made me feel safe and loved. At school, I met a counselor. I was scared to talk to her, but I wanted help. She listened carefully and told me I was brave and strong. She said there were people who could help me. For the first time, I felt hope. I started to think about how I could be free. I made a small plan. I saved some money from small jobs. I learned about my rights and talked to kind people. I wanted to live my own life. One day, I wrote a note for Jack and my mother. I told them I needed to find my own way. I packed a bag and went to a shelter for girls like me. It was scary, but also safe. I was afraid, but I felt a little free. At the shelter, I met other girls with stories like mine. We shared our tears and our smiles. I learned I was not alone. There were people who cared. Now, I go to a new school. I am making new friends. I am learning to trust people again. I still miss my family, but I am stronger. I feel hope in my heart. Every night, I look at the stars and feel calm. I know one day I will be free. This is my story. It is hard, but I am still here. I will keep fighting for my freedom. After I left my home and went to the shelter, my life started to change slowly. The shelter was a small house with many girls. Some were younger, some older. All of us had stories of pain, sadness, and hope. We helped each other. We talked every day. Sometimes we cried together, sometimes we laughed. The workers at the shelter were kind and gentle. They listened when I talked and gave me advice. They taught me how to stay safe and believe in myself. I got a small room with a bed, a desk, and a window. It was not my home, but it was the first place I felt safe in a long time. I could sleep without fear. I could eat without worrying. I could dream again. At the shelter, I found a counselor who helped me with my feelings. She helped me understand that what happened to me was not my fault. She told me that I was brave for leaving and looking for a better life. Sometimes, I felt sad and scared to be alone. But slowly, the sadness became smaller and hope grew bigger. I went back to school in a new place. The teachers were kind. They did not watch me all the time. I could speak freely and make friends. My classmates were friendly. I joined a club for young people who wanted to learn English and art. I loved to paint and draw. It helped me forget the bad memories for a while. I started to work in a small cafe near the shelter. I was nervous at first. I was afraid I might make mistakes. But the people there were patient. They taught me how to make coffee, how to talk to customers, and how to work in a team. I liked the job because it gave me money and confidence. I was proud when I made a good coffee or helped a customer smile. Sometimes, I thought about my mother and Jack. I missed them, but I knew I had to be strong. I wanted to have a good life. I wanted to be free. I called my mother sometimes. Her voice was sad, but she was happy to hear from me. She said she loved me and wanted me to be safe. I told her I loved her too and I hoped she could be strong one day. I hoped Jack could change too, but I was afraid he would not. Every day, I looked at a small photo of my father on my desk. It gave me strength. I told him that I was okay and that I was fighting to be free. I wanted to make him proud. As months passed, I learned more about myself. I learned that I was brave and strong. I learned that I could live without fear. I learned that I was not alone in the world. There were people who cared, people who wanted to help me. I made new friends at the shelter and school. We shared stories and dreams. We supported each other. I felt happy sometimes. I laughed again. One day, I found a small apartment with help from the shelter workers. It was small but mine. I painted the walls pink and put flowers on the windowsill. I could sleep without fear and wake up with hope. I cooked my own food and cleaned my own space. It was freedom. But freedom was not easy. Sometimes I felt lonely. Sometimes the memories came back and made me sad. Sometimes I cried. But I knew I was stronger than my fears. I wanted to help others like me. I started to volunteer at the shelter. I talked to girls who were scared and sad. I told them my story. I told them there was hope and a way out. I dreamed of a future where I could live happily. I dreamed of a life without fear. I dreamed of love and peace. This is my story. It is long and hard, but it is real. I am Riley. I am still here. I am still fighting. And one day, I will be free.